And we're back. Hi, guys. Welcome back to Misfits Room, episode 5. I think we're on episode 5. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. It's so crazy. For some reason, I thought that I would just do 2 episodes, then tap out and give up. Yet I'm still here. I am so proud of myself. I'm just going to give myself a little pat on the back. I'm so proud, so happy. I'm glad to be still doing this, although some days I really don't feel like I know what I'm doing at all. But I'm still here and people are still listening, which again, very grateful for the people listening on Apple Podcasts, on the YouTube channel. Today just might be an episode where I don't have a video portion because my camera is playing games with me. I don't like playing games, so we might just have one episode without video footage for YouTube. So bear with me. The camera wants to pretend like it doesn't have any battery, but we're just gonna keep on moving because I'm not gonna let any obstacles upset me to make me give up, you know? So, yeah, it is another day, another dollar, as SpongeBob would say. Okay, where am I going with this? So far, I've been having a really good week. Can't complain. I had a really weird weekend where I was just like in my feelings, but like over the course of like the week, I've been chilling. I've been pretty good. I'm kicking it. I'm doing a whole bunch of things and I'm not letting anything stop me. I've been feeling really good. I hope everybody else is doing okay. How many times can I say um? So today I wanted to talk about something. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Today I'm gonna talk about something that came across my mind when I was talking to somebody on a dating app like 2 days ago. And this is a question I get asked a lot. I mean, I guess most people get asked this question a lot, but for me, this question or this type of question or the way that this question is asked just really I just hate it. I just overall hate it. But like, okay, let me just tell you what I'm saying. So obviously on a dating app to get to know people, you ask like, hey, where are you from? That question throws me on a just a journey of like, well, what do you mean by where am I from? Like where am I from? Like where I live? Where am I from where I was like born? Where am I from in the sense of ethnicity? Where, like, I hate getting that question because sometimes I myself don't even know. Given every single time that I'm asked that question, I have a different answer every single time. I don't know. That question, it really gets to me. So I figured I would just hop on here today and just like talk about it and see if anybody else feels the exact same way. So what goes through my mind when somebody asks me that question is just like, first thing is like, well, where are you from? My instinct answer is to say Florida, but my parents are Dominican. So it's just like, it's different from a person. Okay, like let's just say my mom. My mom was born in Dominican Republic. So whenever anybody asks her, it's a simple answer for her to just say, "Oh, I'm Dominican because I was born." Like you know what I mean? It's just not as simple for me because I don't feel technically American in this. I mean, I am, but like at the same time, I don't feel like it either. And I am Dominican, but I don't feel Dominican at the same time. It's just a weird line for me sometimes when people ask me that question because just like, oh, so you're American, you were born here, so you're black. And I was like, I mean, in a sense, yes. When you ask certain people, yes, but I'm not because I don't necessarily partake in that culture of black people. So does that make me black, or do you see Latina people as different things, or do you see people who are Latino but darker but like do you see them as like it just confuses me because some I don't know how to say it. Some people come to me and they're like, "Oh, you're mixed," and I was like, "No, I'm fully Spanish. My mom and dad are Hispanic or Latino," and they're like, "No, you're mixed." And I was like, "No, I'm pretty sure I know who my mom and my dad is, and I'm not mixed." So I don't know. It's really weird that question for me. It like I don't know how to answer it sometimes, and it's just like it's hard for me. I don't want to get into the whole race thing or whatever, but like it's hard for me to answer questions like, yeah, but what are you? Because I don't know who I am, or I know who I am, but just I don't know what to identify myself as. Has anybody else has this problem where, like, on a standardized testing, when people would have to fill out these scantrons and stuff, and it would have the options of whether you're white, black, white, black, or Pacific Islander or something, or like other. I don't think they had like Latino or whatever on there, and I was just like, well, I'm not white. I'm not Pacific Islander. Am I black? I mean, but black means that like African American, right? But like I'm not like I am, but like I'm not. Like that question it wasn't even a question. It was just a literal like database question for them, and I couldn't even answer that. Like that question I can never like but I'm not black. I mean, I can see why people think I am because I look like it. My skin is brown, like I'm dark, but like I don't feel like my skin color necessarily gives me a pass to be black. And I don't also black is just like it's a whole culture. It's an entity. I can't say that I'm that when I'm not, when I don't do the things that they do in a sense. I don't know if that makes any sense because I don't want to offend anybody, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, say I was, how do I explain it? Like I can only speak from what I know, but like from a Latino person, like a standpoint, like if a person was Mexican, I'm Mexican. I know what I am. A person, most people who are Mexican are mostly born there. Most of them, you know what I mean? Like, I'm where are you from? From Mexico. I'm Mexican. But for me, it's like I was born here in Florida, born and raised. Haven't left the freaking state yet. I'm sick of it here, but it's okay. It's okay. But I was born here. I was raised here. But I've always had that Dominican part of me where I feel it's gonna sound stupid when I say it. It's not like I feel like I haven't left the island, but I'm not on the island, if you know what I mean, because it's always been Spanish food. It's always been Spanish speaking things. It's always been, I was in dual language when I was in elementary school. There's, you know what I mean, like Spanish music and stuff like that. So I can't necessarily say that I am black in a sense. But then on the other hand, even my own people don't accept me. In a sense, it's like, oh, you're not Dominican, you're not Latina. Why? Because you don't even come here that often, or you were born over there, you don't know what it's like over here, or you're just too dark. Even my own people, like, you're too dark. Like, what is that? I've been told that the weird thing about my family is that there'll be the darkest Dominican out of there, and they'll be the lightest. They can be the lightest, like Caucasian, white, of Hispanics, and then they could be the darkest of midnight dark, black, Hispanic. But for some reason, I'm not it. If anything darker than me is not considered Latino. I mean, I guess in the area that I grew up in, I don't know. I never felt accepted. Every time I would visit there, like going to see my aunts and my grandmas and stuff like that, whenever I got there, I was the outsider. Like, and everybody knew it. Every time I came there, the entire neighborhood knew that I was the one that came from Florida, from America. And they're like, "Oh, how is it over there?" I was like, "I mean, it's not any different than over here. People just speak English. I mean, I don't really know." And plus, I lived there for the majority of my life, and I would only go there summers where my Spanish wasn't that good. So it's just like, "You're not Dominican. What the heck? What? No, go somewhere." I'm just like, well, if I'm not Dominican, and if I'm not American, what the frick am I? What am I? What am I? Even sometimes my own family, like, because the majority of them was born over there. I mean, all my cousins and siblings and stuff that were born here, like, they might feel my pain when they grow up, but like my aunts and uncles and mom and grandma and everything, like, they'll tease me in a sense of like, "Oh, you're just like, you're American, like you don't even know." It's like, well, well, actually, it's just really hard. So whenever I get that question, like, "Oh, what are you?" I'm just like, honestly, I don't even know. Or just like, "Where are you from?" And it's like, honestly, I don't even know. I'm just gonna say Florida. And then they're like, "Oh, you must be mixed." I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not mixed. I wish I was, because it would have been an easier answer. But I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, and another thing is that this same person had also said like, "Oh, you're Afro Latina," and I'm like, Afro Latina. What do you mean by Afro Latina? Do you mean Afro in the sense of part African, or as in like certain Latin countries also come from African descent? Because I know Dominicans have some sort of I mean, where do we get the color from? You know what I mean? Or is that racist? I don't even know. I'm trying to like not say something and get myself canceled in like a couple years. Like, but it's hard. I hate that question so much. And I would honestly, I just am like, I don't know, I'm just me. If I could just check a box where just, I don't know, I'm just me, I would much more prefer that because I can't. I don't know, it's so confusing. It is so confusing. And even like growing up here, I would, I don't know what to say. Like, I wouldn't think that I would get bullied in a way because of my skin color. But it's just like, but hey guys, like I'm not, this is gonna sound really mean, it's gonna sound really bad. It's like, hey guys, but like I'm not, like I'm also like, because I had a whole bunch of friends who were all Spanish, Mexican, Puerto Rican, all of them. We like they all knew that I was Hispanic, but because I was the darkest one there, I was not accepted. I was always the one being bullied. I was always the one being told mean things. Mind you, I'm the nicest one there. I'm too much of a pushover. Like I'm way too freaking nice. And I'm just like every one of y'all, except I'm just darker. So why am I the one being singled out? Like it's just weird to me how even in our own race, within our own communities, if you're too dark, you just don't count, which is really weird to me. My camera's gonna die, so you know what? We just might not have a video version, and that's okay. So we're just gonna keep going on. So yeah, school in general was just a tough. It was tough. It was hard. It's so annoying that I spent all my time doing my makeup and I fixed my hair because I wanted the video version for my YouTube. And now that neither one of my batteries are charged for some reason when I always make sure that they are, and they're not. So now I'm just here like, okay with the fact that it's only just gonna be audio. Like I could have recorded an hour and a half ago, yet I'm over here sweaty, hot, with makeup running down my face, and I keep touching everything like my freaking wine cup. What was I saying? Anyways, yes. So, yeah, even in my own freaking community, I was bullied because I was too dark. I don't know if the conversation should just be around like skin color because it's just, I don't know. I really don't know what the problem was. And I've had some mean racist things talked. Like, okay, hear me out. So, like, in elementary school, I remember this. Was it elementary school? Was it middle school or was it high school? No, it was high school. I'm remembering it now very clearly. It was high school. It was freshman year, and I had this group of friends who weren't really my friends, but you have those group of friends where you hang out with people just to like not be lonely within the first 10 minutes before school starts, and then you start filing away into your classes or whatever. So I had a little group that I would go to, and there was this one girl whose boyfriend was just a player, just a whole player. If there was a scale from 0 to 10, I mean, he's at 2000. He was such a player. And between me and another friend of mine, and we were really like, we were closer than everybody else, I was just like, listen, I feel like we should just say something to her because this boy, mind you, we're in the freshman year, has like, this boy has all these different girls sitting on his lap and doing all this extra stuff. And like, does she even know? Like, what is going on? Like, I just feel bad for her. So we did the whole we did the whole Snooki and JWoww letter before it was even a thing. Or was it a thing when that happened? I don't even know, but we decided to write a letter and be like, hey, you don't deserve this, yada yada yada, he's not good for you and all this other stuff. But I didn't necessarily write the whole thing. My other friend, who's really, really close friends with her, made most of the letter, and then I co-signed it like, yeah, me too, I feel this way, yada yada. Like I literally had a paragraph while my other friend had like a whole story front and back, and I just like co-signed one paragraph and put my name on it too, or something like that. And I kid you not, the next thing when she got the letter, I was the one being attacked. I was the one being targeted. I was the one being told mean things. Even like for some reason that girl was mad at me. She came and she got her little boyfriend who's cheating on her and doing all this other stuff. Mind you, this is freshman year, stupid stuff. But still, she went and she got her freaking boyfriend to come at me. He's like, oh, you fucking, I'm gonna curse. Oh my god. And I was like, you effing nigger and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, wait, what? I only had one paragraph and my paragraph barely made any sense. I was just saying I agree with whatever she said. I'm so confused. She's just like, I just looked like the easier target because I was darker. I mean, that's just how I feel. I don't know if that's what they were intending, but that's how I felt because like looking back at it, I was like, um girl, like, you were the one who wrote this whole thing and I co-signed it. Why are they being mean to me? And why are you, ooh, I just hit my mic. And why are you not defending me? Like, I'm so confused. School was a weird dynamic. If they asked me if I would ever repeat high school again, or any sort of school, first through graduating, I would say, hell no. Hell no. 1,000 times. It was the worst time ever. I've had more freaking stuff like that happen to me again. Like, there was this one time in sophomore year where I was on the bus. I used to take the bus to school, and I guess I had the only seat available because the bus was getting full because people like to sit in the back. And then the closer you got to the front, there was more seats available. So this one white kid, he like looked around and everything, and then he realized like, oh, my seat's the only one there. So I kind of like scooched over just to like, if you want to sit, you can sit. And then he literally looked at me. He's like, I'm not sitting with no fucking nigger, and just like kept walking. And literally every single person on that bus was laughing at me, and the one friend who I thought was my friend was laughing at me as well, but like with him. Like, the joke was like so funny. It's just like, that's just like, what? Like, what? I don't get it. I really don't get it. And mind you, I don't know him. I didn't do anything to him. If anything, we didn't know each other, but like every now and then, with the friend or neighbor that I had who was also laughing, like, she lived next to me, and her and him and his brother would always walk with us to the bus stop and always conversate with us and me. Like, sometimes he would just even talk to me. So it's like, why did you have to put on a whole show in front of everybody and just like say something so vulgar like that? It's just beyond me. Like, I don't understand. I was And to have the vast majority of the bus just laughing because it's one thing if it was just between me and him, but like the whole bus was laughing, and the one person who I thought was my friend on that bus was laughing at it as well. And it's just like, homie, you are just as Hispanic as I am. If anything, like, you're Puerto Rican and I'm Dominican. Like, we're very close neighbors, and like you're I don't know. I was just like, and at the end of the day, I still ended up becoming her friend, and still other people that she knew would just insult me in a way. And it's just like, but why is it me that I'm just the easiest one to pick at? Because we're all the same. It's just that when I'm looking back at it now, it's just like the mere fact that I was just darker and I was just easier to pick on, I guess. If that makes any sense. I don't know. I don't want to feel like I'm starting any race drama, because that's not what I'm about. But like, in certain circumstances, I just feel like, I don't know, I was just being targeted for the wrong freaking reasons. It doesn't make any sense. Which brings me back to my initial point, is that, what am I supposed to say when people ask me, where are you from? I don't know. I wish I had the answer. I honestly, I don't know what to say, because I feel like I'm an imposter saying that I'm American when I don't do most American things. If that makes any sense. Like, okay, I went to an American school. I speak English. Yeah, sure, but like most of the time, I'll listen to Spanish music. Most of the time, I'm eating Spanish food. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't know. I just don't feel like I fit here, or I fit over there. So it just leaves me somewhere in the middle. Like, if I was just standing in the ocean, I feel like that would be a lot better, because I'm neither here nor there. I'm just in the middle, you know? And then it's like, well, am I black? Am I black because I just so happen to be darker? Or am I black because somehow, some way, I do have like African ancestors? You know what I mean? Like, that's just the whole confusing part of it all. I honestly just choose to say I'm from Florida. And then when they start bringing up other things, then I'll start to clarify, and then we'll go from there. We're like, I just don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, that's something that I really wanted to talk about, because I was just itching at my brain for like 2 days now. So, you know what? That'd be something very interesting to talk about, and to hear what other people think about that, because I can't be the only one. I cannot be the only one thinking that way. But yeah, that's the end of that. I'm not trying to get all sappy and weird. I really just felt like talking about it because I just felt so confused with it. But now that we're on the topic of like minorities, I wanted to briefly talk about the whole Lil Nas X blood Nikes and how Tony Hawk is doing blood skateboards. It's so funny to me. And it's so hilarious to me that people, it's just the world has so many double standards. It's not even funny because if you don't know, if you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you know because the whole world made a scene about it, is that Lil Nas, he's gay. If you don't know that, he's the one who created Old Town Road. But anyways, he is a gay black man, and what is it that he did? He did like Nike. He didn't pair up with Nikes, but he created like a certain number amount of custom shoes that had his blood on it or blood in mixed with the shoe fabric or somehow some way a piece of his some sort of amount of his own blood was made into the shoes so the shoes were custom. And because he's gay and because he had a video of him on a stripper pole, I guess stripping or dancing against the Satan or whatever, basically telling the world, you want me to be a Satan worshiper so bad. Here's the video for it. And then he goes and drops the Nike shoes with his blood on it, and he's like, "Oh, you're just a Satan worshiper, and all the gays are you're teaching kids bad things. You're teaching kids to worship Satan, and they're all gonna go to hell because of you, yada yada yada. Stop promoting gayness to our kids and all this other stuff." And I'm just like, wait, what? What? Because now Tony Hawk is coming out with freaking skateboards with his blood on it, his blood in it, mixed with the paint, and all of a sudden there's no issue with that. There's no Satan worshiping or doing all this other nonsense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he, even Lil Nas X said it himself, like, oh, now that Tony Hawk is pushing his blood skateboards, are you gonna really talk about the real reason why you're mad? And it's not because I put blood in the sneakers, it's because I'm gay. Like, that is just, honestly, the whole just LGBTQ plus I something, I forget, that community, I feel for them and I get heated. I get so heated sometimes where it's just like if I ever like I went on a date not too long ago and I was just like we were on that topic and he was just being so just I was like, listen, we're gonna agree to disagree because I can get very heated about this topic and your points aren't valid points. And honestly, I did not see that. If we cannot be on the same page with that and let love be love no matter what it is, black, white, yellow, blue, pink, red, girl, boy, not boy, whatever they want to be, if we can't just love be love, you can go somewhere else with that because I can't. You can't tell me that you know what's best for somebody else because you don't. You can't tell me who I can fall in love with, same way that I can't tell you who to fall in love with. I don't know why government thinks that they can regulate what I can and cannot like because that is not up to you, that is up to me. And I hate how people say that people aren't born gay, they're made gay. Like, no. Just this, so I could also be saying that all these movies and stuff like that are pushing heterosexuality in front of my face. So now I'm offended. You know what I mean? Same way you think that Lil Nas X is pushing gayness on people, I can say the same thing about every rom-com, every freaking romanticized movie with a girl and a guy pushing heterosexuality to me. It's the exact same thing, honestly. And if you feel that I'm not making any sense, you can go ahead and unsubscribe and not listen to me. I don't really care. I'm very passionate about that. I just if you can hear me right now just sizzling. I am sizzling. I cannot. I will literally get up and walk away. I've had conversations with one of my uncles and he said to me, I had to literally walk away. He said to me, I don't let my son watch SpongeBob because SpongeBob and Patrick be doing gay shit and I don't like that. And I'm like, sir, in what world? in what in what world? Because I watched it all my life and I'm not gay. Other people have watched it all their life and they're not gay. Well, how? There was a point in time where all of my cousins, they were all girls, they were making bracelets and stuff like that, and he wanted to do one too. And his dad was like, okay, but as long as it's like boy colors, you can't use pink, yellow's okay, green's okay, you can use blue, but none of that pink stuff or whatever. And I'm just like, why can't he just pick a color that's just it's a color, it's a freaking color. What's the difference? I just literally, whenever he comes around and he starts talking about that stuff, I just have to zip my mouth and just like ignore, walk away, or go somewhere, because I can't. I can't. Who are you to tell me anything? And who am I to tell you anything? It's you, as you can tell, I get very heated. So yeah, reeling it back into what I was primarily talking about, because as you can tell, that topic means a lot to me. Why does Tony Hawk get to do that, but when Lil Nas does it, it's a problem? We need to come to a unanimous, just like something, some sort of just some, we all gotta come together and just figure it out, because you can't be one. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's black and Tony Hawk's white that it's okay if Tony Hawk does it. But it shouldn't be because Tony Hawk's white the reason that he can do it. That just doesn't make any sense. I feel so bad sometimes for that community, because it's people like that. It's people like Lil Boozy. That's his name, Boosie? Lil Boosie? But is it Lil Boosie? I think it's just Boosie. For people like Boosie, and for all these like T.I. and all these other people just publicly stating like, oh, I don't support him because he's shoving gayness down our kids' throat. It's like, first of all, your kid is your responsibility. Whatever you put on the TV or whatever you allow your child to watch on TV, that is your full-on responsibility. So if you feel like you cannot control that, you should not be blaming other people for that. Just as much as people, and here's the problem with certain things, because people don't come into the world wanting to be role models when they're famous. They just so happen to be famous, and they just so happen to try and use their voice to be a better person and to be a good role model. But people aren't put on this planet for your enjoyment or for you to say what they can and cannot do. It's up to you to lecture and nurture and teach your child, not somebody else. If you're letting the TV tell you or tell your kids how to be raised, like, it's your own fault. If you're saying, oh, I can't let, or same thing with like Cardi B. Oh my god, Cardi B got so much shit because of her WAP video and the lyric that I think Megan Thee Stallion said about, oh, pay my tuition something something. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the lyric. He bought a phone just for pictures of the wet meow. I'm just gonna say meow. Or he pay my tuition just to kiss me, like, oh, you're promoting things for young girls to feel or think that they should sell their bodies or do this and that. I was like, first of all, ma'am, sir, your kids are your responsibility. Last time I checked, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion did not pop out all those kids. That's yo kids. If you cannot control what yo kids watch, that's your own damn fault. Stop putting blame on other people for your own problems and your own kids. You brought them here. You take care of them. You do what you gotta do. Cardi B is not responsible for my kid. I am. That's on you. That just shows you that you don't regulate your house. You don't. And you need somebody else like Cardi B to regulate it for you. And when she does, you get mad. So whose fault is it really? And that just brings me back to just honestly feeling so bad for the kids. I mean, it feels like it's getting better, but not really. It's so hard for people to want to feel themselves when their very own people, family, are so close-minded and just belittling people in the public that they themselves don't even feel comfortable telling their family, hey, I feel this way. So they repress and repress, and they're never themselves. Like, how would you feel as a normal heterosexual girl or man if someone told you, hey, liking that is weird, or you can't do that, or you can't like that? being gay is the normal thing. How would you feel just having that consistently? Like, I'm not, I don't know. Nobody else is responsible for my happiness but me. So the fact that even the government with this whole same-sex marriage thing, like, how is that an issue? Why is that something that you feel the need to regulate? Who I love is who I love. You don't get to decide that. So the fact that people can't even marry people just because they like another man, or because two women like each other, like, what even is that? We live in the freest world that's not free. We live in the most liberated but not so liberated. We are so jailed and we don't even know it. We are so oblivious to the fact that we don't even own our own just thoughts sometimes, or just our own wants and wills and needs. Like, we don't even own none of that, because at the end of the day, this land of the free ain't so free, because you can't be black, you can't be Asian, you can't be Latino, you can't be gay, you can't be lesbian, you can't be transgender, you can't have no gender, you can't be gender fluid, you have to be white, or I don't even want to say white, because even like, I don't want to generalize it, but like, you can't be what you want to be, yet this is the land of the free. How? It doesn't make any sense. It never made any sense, and it's I'm just gonna stop talking about it, because I'm gonna get heated, and it's late. It is so late at night, and I'm not trying to be tossing and turning in my bed. It's not happening. I'm gonna choose. It's above me. It's above me now. It's above me. It's above me. I can't deal with it. So I'm just gonna sip some wine and we're gonna move on. It's so funny now that the camera's not working and I'm just like not gonna have a video version for this. I just feel a lot more free, because I'm constantly like looking at myself in the camera just to make sure I look good or whatever. But like, now it's just like nobody's even looking at me right now, which is great. So I just feel like I can cut whatever I need to. Oh, there was my dog. And in other news, I am not a political person, but I feel as though I have a platform and I want to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And as much as I don't know any information on this whole Afghanistan thing, it is really just sad. All the things that are happening right now, even just like today, like I think I forgot what the name of the place was. Kabul, Kabul. I don't know where the city is, but it just got bombed and like people are hurt, and it's just like it's so frustrating, because why can't we all just get along? But that's like I don't know, that's just something I know is too much to ask for people on earth, because we are all so different that it's just never gonna be like that unless we all end up killing each other and then there's nobody left in this world. But it's just so frustrating and sad to see. In a sense, I understand. I don't really know much about what's going on over there, the policies or all the things that they've been doing for these I think 20 years, but it's just so frustrating too, from what I've heard, that these soldiers for at least 20 years, like fathers and, even their sons at one point ended up going there to have fought and tried to put so much structure and figure out, and people died for this, for people to be sent back home, and within less than, what was it, 3 days or a week or something, it wasn't even that long, for the minute people leave, everything just starts going haywire. Like, women can't go outside, women aren't allowed to go to school. They like, what, like, why? It's just so frustrating how certain people feel the need to just, for one, feel like women are their property, or make women feel less than, or just for men to feel like they own something just because they have a gun, or just because their views are different than someone else's, that they feel the need to fight somebody about it and kill somebody about it. Like, that's just the weirdest thing to me. I'm feeling for those people in Afghanistan. I really do. and honestly everywhere else in the world, because it's not just there, it's everywhere in the world. It's here, it's in Israel not too long ago when that stuff happened in Israel, or is still happening. I'm not sure. I haven't kept up with it because it's just all too much for me to just keep up with, because then it's just gonna make me sad. I'd rather just deal with the crazy shit that happens in Florida and just leave it at that. It's so sad. Even with all, even like the Asian hate that wasn't so long ago and all that, and the random senseless killing and the murders of the black people here, and I just feel so bad. It's so female of me, I would guess, to say that I wish everybody would just not fight. Everybody would just get along, but that's in a real world, in a normal world, that is never gonna happen. There's never gonna come a time where there is total peace, because there's always gonna be somebody with an opinion feeling like they know better, and it's just never gonna work. No, there's no perfect utopia unless, honestly, unless everyone is dead, there's never gonna be peace. Being completely and totally honest, I mean, that might change. I feel like children nowadays growing up, they're seeing a different way of the world that I feel like in certain ways it's going to change for the better. But at the same time, I don't think that's going to happen within my generation, within my lifetime. It might get better, but I don't see that happening in my lifetime. I'm being completely and totally honest. Maybe in 2, 3 lifetimes after this, but it's gonna take a long time. And honestly, I don't even think we have time, because as far as I know, this earth is just deteriorating right beneath our feet, and it's just, I don't know. It's so sad. I don't want to be sad. Oh my god, how did I get here? How the hell did I get here? Okay, let's rewind it back. Let's go back. Let's find something happy. Let's see. I'm looking around my room right now, and I have this plant. I have this stupid plant that I don't know what it is. It's frustrating the shit out of me because I bought it and it was perfect, and I'm looking at it and I was like, it's looking real skinny, and it's a succulent, like like cactuses and stuff like that. They don't necessarily need water, so I feel the need to water it, but it doesn't need water. So if I keep watering, I'm just gonna kill it, and now it's like leaning towards away, and now I have something holding it up, and I'm about to just kill it or throw it out and get a whole new one and repot it. Most frustrating plant ever. But then it's like cactuses are no fun because they legit don't need you, like a cat. I've had so many cats in my years. Cats don't need shit from you. All they need is water and food, and barely even food sometimes. They'll go and eat whatever's left in the freaking house. And somehow, someway, they'll turn on a faucet if they need to drink water. Cats don't need nothing. My dog, on the other hand, up my ass every 5 seconds. But yeah, I'm just gonna conclude this episode here. A lot of things went wrong today with my camera and just like the time that I'm recording right now. It's really late. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record it. It's gonna be fine. And tomorrow's gonna be a new day. Next week is gonna be a new week, and I'm gonna record again, and we're gonna get this video thing back on track, and it's fine. It's honestly fine. This is my 5th episode. I'm not an expert. It's just me, myself, and I have other things on my plate. It's not the end of the world, so I'm accepting it as the minutes pass by. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Honestly, think about what I said. If you're listening on YouTube, let me know what you think about our first topic. What do you say when people ask you where are you from, or how do you feel about that question? How do you even feel about it being on standardized testing, like the face sheet? That would be like the first things you would put on your Scantron: your name, today's date, date of birth, and what race you are. I would love to know what other people think about that. Power to my LGBTQ people. I'm an ally, as people say. I am with you people. Any and all minorities that just feel just unsafe, or just don't, everybody who's struggling right now, I'm sending you well wishes. I'm there with you. I feel your pain. And just know that today was today, and tomorrow's a new day, and just gotta keep pushing on, because if you sit around and don't enjoy the world, you'll never know. So just keep pushing on, even though it's hard. And with that, I would just like to say thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify. We are on Google Podcasts. I am also on YouTube if you want to watch the video version, although there will not be a video version today. And don't forget, I have my own YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Genesis the Misfit number 1. Genesis the Misfit, what? youtube.com/Genesis the Misfit 1. You'll find all of my videos there. That's what I do when I'm not doing podcasts. And all of my socials are linked on the YouTube. So I will see you guys on the next one.